Will the vintage old Kraft Signature Series radios still fly? Well, that's what we're going to try to find out. Hello, folks. Well, many of you know I worked for the company that invented digital proportional RC radios. Prior to that, there were Pulse Systems and Galloping Ghost radios. Well, that company was the Kraft RC Radio Control Systems out of Vista, California. I worked there as a tech engineer in the famous Kraft Signature Series line. That line of Phil's Signature Series radio was top drawer. You could order the radios customized the way you wanted, like single stick, half rates, cross trims, exponential, plug-in RF modules, mixers, etc. It was first of the kind and basically a programmable radio. So besides dual rates, cross trims, and exponential controls on the very first digital proportional manufacturer, Kraft Systems, this is the DSC. And what this was is you would plug the wire into this and then go to your aircraft and plug that into your charging port, and you could run your radio without transmitting. You could work the controls without transmitting. And that was a real big innovation at the time. That was called a DSC, Direct Servo Controller. Well, after one of my recent videos, this is where I explain what exponential and cross trims, dual rates are for, a subscriber said I should fly my Kraft radio again. This being the only radio that survived the fire, I thought, well, okay, I might try that. Well, I thought about it, and since nobody is flying those 7 old frequencies that we had to fly on in the 70s, I would go ahead and clean up my radio, put new batteries in it, and see how it works. So I put in 8AA nickel metal hydride batteries in a tray and cleaned it up the best I could. Well, I decided to try to find a plane to put it in and wound up using the old clipper that John Donovan used to manufacture and sell in his hobby shop. I had him sign it actually when I bought it from him before he passed. It has an MDS 25 on it, and it's never intended to have LG as it's a combat plane. Well, I put LG on it, and albeit it's a bit heavy, it works. This has got the classic sliding tray. So as I'm running the elevator up and down, you can see the elevator moving the control surfaces up and down. Left and right is like this. So that's how the sliding tray used to work. I got a mixer in this, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there. I don't want to take all that apart. That's pretty cool stuff. The receiver is a 5-channel KPS-5. Well, I had a ham license then, back in 1979, and also retook the test to have a current license, so I can legally use the 53 megahertz band with a real crystal. I decided since it's impossible to buy all the servo connectors that I would just use the servos already in the clipper, since they are all in the sliding tray and I didn't want to disassemble all that neat setup. So I decided to install servo output wires in the receiver instead. Then I can plug in the already installed servos. So here you're seeing how I did it. I mean, I have tuned thousands of these radios over the years, and after Kraft, when I worked at my own company, the International Radio Control Service Center, I was tuning radios that people were sending me, and also became involved tuning Joe Breedy's Proline series radios, which he purchased, and I wound up becoming a tech for him on that. Well, Joe Breedy was really famous for his pattern kits, including the Chaos and this Dirty Birdie. Well, here you're seeing how I did it. Well, besides inventing digital proportional radios, Kraft was the first with exponential, dual rates, cross trims, plug-in modules, and more. They also invented the really neat carbon wiper for the servos, a real boon to the industry at the time. Here I'm going to explain some of this, and then we're going to go out and see if we can fly this 45-year-old technology today. I can't wait. But first, here's what carbon wipers are and how to service and center the Kraft servos. By the way, if you owned a Heathkit radio, the servo cases were white, like the Sport Series. This Kraft also manufactured the kits for Heathkit, so you could build your own radio. I have wired in other connectors off of the chip. All working good. These are the regular Kraft KPS 15 servos, and those are the only ones I have that have this actual connectors on it that we used back then. And this servo is a modern servo. That's a high-tech servo that is plugged into one of my extensions. So I've got 4 extensions here, and just thought you might want to see what the Kraft servos look like. Now I've got the carbon wiper servo here, and I might show you that because that was another innovation by Kraft. So let's take a look at that. This is KPS 14. As you can see inside, I opened up the pot here, and you can see the little tabs on the wiper, and that's where they wear out. Okay, so the way we centered the servos, okay, you see this right here, this is centered, this is the aileron, and as you can see, that's not centered, because if I put the arm on there, that has to be centered. So the way we did it was we just turned the pot here, and when you turn the pot, this would center the servo. Like that. Now, that's lined up straight. Now we just tighten that down. And I'm sure you want to see what the inside looks like, so let me show you that. All right, let's take a look at the carbon wiper servo. Many of the radios that came in to be retuned or after a crash to be checked or serviced, people always requested that we put in the carbon wiper. So I'm going to show you what the carbon wiper looks like now. So let's pull this one apart. So if you look very closely, you can see right there is the carbon tip. It's on that wiper. And that made for a very good contact and just absolutely great stuff there. So that's what the carbon wiper looks like. Yep. Give this a shot. This is John Donovan's original clipper, his design. I had him sign it a long time ago. That's full up. It was barely climbing, and I had to swing really wide in order to keep going, or lose it. Well, this is a serious range test, and for my eyes too. But the radio worked without a glitch, as expected, because it always did. All I have to do is adjust the push rods for a little more up elevator, and all will be good. running my Kraft transmitter. Definitely running rich. Alright. I can drop it in without much difficulty here. Short coupled wheelbase. Touch the nose wheel steering and it tips easy. Who said the old stuff still doesn't work? It works. So that's it for this history episode. I hope this enlightened those that never knew what the pioneers had versus today's automatic everything. And thanks so much to Ilea for the camera work. And please stay tuned, folks.